Hey, what's going on, humans? Hopefully you're having a good day. I know I am. So for right now, we're going to be looking at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Dino Thunder White Ranger. And before we get into the review, let's discuss the elephant in the helmet. I said what I said. So yeah, apparently when he showed up without the black visor, or without the visor being painted black. And I just want to say, I've defended Hasbro on a bunch of minor paint nicks, or things that were considered minor, like, honestly, I can forgive them if the morpher is not painted, which I did on mine. I can forgive them if they miss some paint, like on the hands. I can forgive that. I've done that too. Hell, I would even forgive them if they missed the paint, if they didn't add the paint for like the little spikes on the bottom of the leg. I can forgive them for that. The helmet, that is unacceptable. That is very unacceptable, and I cannot make an excuse for that. And it sucks because this is actually my all-time favorite Power Ranger, and one of my favorite suit designs. So to kind of get that incomplete and having to do this project myself, it was kind of an interesting one, but at the same time, I really don't like the way how I made the helmet come out. It doesn't really, I don't know if it's showing well on camera, that kind of like the paint rub and like the blacks kind of rubbed from like doing the lining. It was frustrating. It was a little bit of a frustrating process. It was fun at first, but you know, kind of looking at it with photos, it kind of doesn't look too bad as to where I'm looking at it, like in person, like on camera. I don't think it shows that bad. The lines are just too thick. But yeah, I'm not exactly happy with what I did. I just basically took like a black Gundam marker. It was a fine tip Gundam marker, some black paint on a Q-tip, not a Q-tip, a toothpick, to kind of get the lining how I wanted to, and then I used a red Gundam marker for the helmet, which it did make the visor a darker red, which I was going for, so I'm okay with that. But as far as the lining, yeah, it works, but at the same time, if I look at it too long, it's like, ugh. So I tried my best, because I wasn't gonna have my favorite character just looking the way he was, so that was acceptable. But anyway, rant over, let's get into the review. With the helmet aside, I say Hasbro did an impressive job with this one. I do love Trent's. I do love the White Ranger. I kind of relate to his character a lot. I do love it. I also love Opera Killer from Opera Ranger, so he was a badass. And now we get to have him in like the Lightning Collection treatment. I'm proud of it. I'm cool with it. So let's get on to his articulation. Now the head, of course, can look up that far, and it can look down. That's as far as down it'll look. It still suffers from the no neck syndrome that the figures always had, which, yeah, and the chest piece is in the way, which surprisingly that's actually a separate piece. So like, if I take the helmet off, and then I can just slip this off, and boom, you have like the shield, which is actually pretty cool. And then if I were to put the helmet on, that's how it would look. But so yeah, I thought that was an interesting concept, because it's just a tab on the inside of here. It just plugs into the hole in the back. If I can get that, okay, there we go. So yeah, that's interesting. For the torso, it does spin around. Can go all the way forward, all the way back. Double jointed bend at the elbows, of course. And has bicep swivel. And swivel hinge for his hands. Then you got the legs can come all the way out. And they also have thigh swivel on them. course, they have the double bend at the knee. You got that little feet pivot. The arm can come all the way out. And he does have the butterfly joint. So we can get like a nice, some type of kick going on out of him. So yeah, so something like that. But I did like the way this guy came out. I do like the way this guy came out other than the helmet. So yeah. The body wise, I'm okay with it. The paint, I did paint the morpher a little bit, and then I also did paint the arrows on the, well, I guess yeah, call it the arrows for the gloves. I did paint that as well. On all the hands, actually. So yeah, that's okay. Now for his accessories, here he has his head, which I say it kind of does look like Trent. I'm okay with it. I mean, from a quick glance, yeah, it looks like Trent, but at the same time, it could have been done better. So kind of before he morphs, well, when he's during the morph, and then boom, helmet just comes on. Yeah, so it's a nice little Trent helmet, I guess. And he also comes with, of course, his signature weapon, the Drago sword. Which, if I can get it. And here it is. I also painted this one too. I added the black lining over here. And just the line through. Made this part silver. This, yeah, so that, and it kind of got a little messy with the clear coat. And then I should have added the red eyes for the Drago sword. But you're probably wondering, wait, what is that in his holster? This is another Drago sword. But this one came from the Legacy version that came out from Bandai. And the reason why I gave him this one is because this is the closed variant. And this one's the open variant. So I kind of preferred we got the closed one, or I preferred we got both versions. But you know, I figured I'll give him this one. And he can have this one too. But he can still hold this one, even though it's a kind of thicker. He can still hold it in his hand. Yeah, so we got that. As far as his other accessory goes, for his hand, he has this open hand, which is you can use this for posing, which goes on the left arm. And then he also has this hand, which it's kind of molded together, like the index and the thumb finger are molded together. What that's used for is to use like the drawing effect on it. Which the problem is, with the sword, it should be backwards, like the head, it should be backwards. The head should be spun around, kind of like the Drago sword. They got it right on this one. This one is completely backwards, if you look at that. So yeah, the head should be inverted. But yeah, I don't know. I might just put a little slit in that. That way I could fit it through the hand. Yeah. And one of the greatest things about this is that he comes with this thing. I love this effects piece. This is to recreate his laser arrow effect that he would emanate from the sword. So what you would do is you would just slide it through, and then basically he would just wave his sword around, and then the lightning arrows, laser swords, would just come out. And I think that's pretty freaking dope. I love it. Actually, I wonder if he fits on this one. It probably does. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's amazing. So So yeah, he can kind of just wave the sword around and then have arrows and have the laser arrows emanate from it, which that is pretty freaking cool. I love that they did that. Alright, so with that being said, let's get on to some comparisons. For a most recent comparison, here he is next to the Bandai release of the White Ranger. Yeah, so as you can see, the proportions are much better on this one. This one's just buffer. Of course, the Lightning Collection aims to be more realistic with their sculpting. And, you know, this guy, he was good for as long as he lasted. But I'm happy to have this one in my collection. So it's cool, K. It's cool. And he will keep his sword. For other comparisons of Lightning Collection, well, for the Lightning Collection, here he is next to some Six Rangers. Here's Omega, which he teamed up with. And here he is next to one of his one of his teacher's forms. And now let's add another White Ranger in here. Yep, so Trent and Dr. Oliver. Now for other stuff. For Marvel Legends, here he is next to Crossbones and Killmonger. And for some SHF, here he is next to Kamen Rider Decade. And for the heck of it, Kamen Rider Chalice. Nope. I'm trying to hit the camera. But actually, these two, I'm actually happy to have these two together because they can now be like the mascots, I guess, for the channel. Where Decade's already my favorite writer. I have my favorite Ranger, so it's all good. All in all, that's going to be it for this one. I will say this. If you can look past the helmet, and if you can kind of recreate the lining yourself, well, what I didn't point out is that it does have like the molded detail for the lining on the helmet. It's just not painted, so you don't have to freehand. Hopefully you're doing it right. You can just, if you keep it on the line, if you have steady hands, you can actually recreate it. If you can't recreate it, that's okay too. I understand not everyone can. What I did hear is that people are actually contacting Hasbro, and Hasbro saying they'll give some people a new head sculpt. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just what I heard. Or, well, actually I've seen some emails from it, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. But if you can look past the helmet, I would say pick this guy up. He is a Walgreens exclusive. Don't know why Hasbro hasn't announced him yet. So, yeah. Other than that, that'll be it for this one. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully it helped you out. And hopefully you humans have a good day. Y'all take it easy out there.